guys. Today we're going to be reading from Ephesians 4. We're going to do verses 1 through 13 about unity in the body. I, therefore, a prisoner for the Lord, urge you to walk in a manner worthy of the calling to which you have been called, with all humility and gentleness, with patience, bearing with one another in love, eager to maintain the unity of the Spirit and the bond of peace. There is one body and one Spirit, just as you were called to the one hope that belongs to your call. One Lord, one faith, one baptism, one God and Father of all, who is over all and through all and in all. But grace was given to each one of us according to the measure of Christ's gift. Therefore it says, when he ascended on high, he led a host of captives, and he gave gifts to men. In saying he ascended, what does it mean but that he had also ascended into the lower regions, the earth? He who descended is the one who also ascended far above all the heavens, that he might fill all things. And he gave the apostles, the prophets, the evangelists, the shepherds, and teachers to equip the saints for the work of ministry, for building up of the body of Christ, until we all attain to the unity of the faith and of the knowledge of the Son of God, to mature manhood, to the measure of the stature of the fullness of Christ. I really love these verses, and I love how it talks about calling and grace and how the body was designed. So in verse 4, it says, there's one body, one Spirit, just as you were called to the one hope that belongs to your call. I love when we talk about calling, and especially when we talk about student ministry. This is like a weird calling and a goofy calling sometimes, but it is a high calling. And when we look at people who are lifelong followers of Christ, most of them became followers in middle school and high school. And so while there are, I'm sure, times that are wild and unexpected, discipling our young people is one of the greatest callings that God has given us, and what an exciting gift. Verse 7, it talks about being heirs. Heirs in the grace of Jesus. But grace was given to each one of us according to the measure of Christ's gift, that it is not out of our own giftings, it is not out of our power or our influence or our leadership or our education, but out of the grace that Jesus has given us. Verse 11 says that he gave the apostles, the prophets, the evangelists, the shepherds, and teachers to equip the saints for the work of ministry, that he gave us the ministers to the church, not the church to the ministers. And I love that. That as student ministers, we get to be apostles and prophets and evangelists and shepherds and teachers. We get to participate in all of those different things and steward those gifts well that God has given us, understanding that God has set us apart for this role. And then verse 12 says that our job is to equip the saints for the work of ministry, and that's what we get to do in student ministry, is build up the body of Christ by equipping the people that he's given to us. Personally, I know that I'm just super thankful for all of the work that youth workers have done in my life. When I think back on all of the things that were accomplished in me and through the volunteers and through the professional youth workers that just poured into me and discipled me and pointed me to truth over and over again and walked with me even when things were hard, I'm just incredibly grateful for that work. And I know that it can sometimes be a thankless job. So we're super thankful for you. We're praying for you, and we're just excited for the way that God is moving in this generation.